All right,
Recorder's
well,
on.
let's do a legislation meeting. Today is July 14th, Monday, June 14th. How about that? And not take away a month of my summer break. In attendance, Diane Shrimp, Brian Wolf, and Mark Ruger. Mayor Hughes is here and might be back at the table in a moment. So, looks like we're doing third reading of Garmin, second phase of Garmin. Anyone have anything they'd like to comment on that? That seems to be the one that's going to be problematic, or has the potential to be problematic. How about that?
My questions and concerns were dealt with, so.
I'm looking up the,
Was this one, and we didn't table this one or anything, this is just a straight third reading
Straight third reading.
pass? Are we being asked to pass as an emergency or anything like that? It's not
not.
noted here, but,
it's not noted here,
I mean,
and I'm having trouble in the packet.
but do we,
Actually, here it is.
I mean, I would throw out that question just because we can, they would, I believe, have to wait 30 days for that to be ratified and signed by the mayor, unless we pass it as an emergency. It's getting the, unless they understand and are willing to work, even though there is the chance it could be referendum. I
I
just,
finally found it in here, and they are not requesting an emergency, but we can definitely put that question to the mayor.
yeah, that would be my only question, just because we,
Fee schedule, let's see, what's our change to the fee schedule?
That was the
proposed change.
solicitors and the.
Solicitation, registration
Ice cream
fee
truck.
is $50.
There's also a note on here about,
And peddler registration and mobile ice cream vendors have both been added at discretion of mayor.
yeah, and then there was something on the back, right? Sewer tap fee says a proposed change. I wonder if that's old, because we did not discuss a change there in this conversation.
Sewer tap, yeah, the only sewer tap,
Over 2 inches, 50% to 70% of City of Columbus fees at mayor's discretion, and that is not actually changing. That has been the case.
Proposed change is just $1,000 per resident home.
You think that's what it is? Storm sewer fee per resident?
I don't think so. I mean, the last one was
Yeah, it
for
wouldn't
the
make any
West
sense
Coast
'cause
schools,
all-
because
yeah.
we didn't
Yeah.
have something.
We're not putting any more residential, well, one or two maybe, that whole wooded lot next to the Eichmanns or what have you, but for the most
I
part,
think the wooded lot next to the Eichmann is the only undeveloped lot at this point.
well, there's that one place over on, what is it, Ultra Vista, and they might just be sitting on a double lot with
They're
the
just sitting
grapevines.
on, yeah, they're just sitting on a double lot.
But they could probably sell half their lot to a developer if they really wanted to.
They'd have to split it, and I don't think that actually has the
Minimum
minimum 50-foot frontage that our code requires.
Gotcha.
There's one across the street in Kinney Corner, Wes and Connie.
Anyway, there's not enough to us worry about, what the tap fee is.
No.
I don't think so.
And we do have the tax budget, an emergency, but not a waived reading, so that's just a second reading for tonight.
All right. And we were waiting on there's a supplemental appropriations. Capital outlay of 63, is this the car that we talked about?
It is, I looked up the
And
account.
I'm not seeing that on the agenda.
It's on the back. Oh, it's not on the agenda, but it's in the packet.
I looked at the account 1,110,500 is police department.
Yeah, so that's the cruiser.
Yeah, that's gonna be the.
That's probably what she's flipping out about, is that the agenda doesn't note this, yeah, and then, and this one's just a first reading, okay. We were waiting on another update from Eric Fisher on the noise, disturbing the peace ordinance business.
Alright.
Were we?
I think so.
We have a couple questions for you.
Go for it.
For 2021-17, Garmin Miller This is the third reading, do we need to pass that so they can get started, or will they get started?
Do we
knowing
need
that
to
we
pass
have
as an
30 days?
emergency?
So, this is gonna be an Eric question, big plus yes and no.
If it's
It's my
Eric, it's gonna
understanding
work.
that at this point, since we have already gotten through part one,
Mhm.
it's past referendum options.
Oh,
And I'm gonna
okay.
say it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
Clarify, I know Jesse and Eric had a discussion about that, so there's no reason not to do it as an emergency to get them moving. But if it's not referendumable, however, I
Yeah,
just said that in English.
Yeah,
But again, if you guys wanna wait the 45 days for
No,
somebody
no,
not
no,
to
no,
be.
no, I don't
That was
want-
my understanding, so let's triple check with Eric and we can actually say that on the live stream
Yeah,
if you
put
guys
that
are
down,
okay.
ask Eric.
Yeah, I'm actually also fine with suggesting we pass as an emergency.
I don't
just to-
disagree, so,
Yeah.
yeah, so that is the reason for it, is my understanding is it is non-referendable, able, and why not do it as an emergency, because we can get started tomorrow versus
Waiving the.
30 more days, again, pushing us into the,
Well, if it's not referendumable, I wonder if they would get to work even before it's signed, just based on the fact that it can't not go through.
well, at this point, it would be tomorrow anyways, cause I would sign it tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, I'll be here.
So why would it be subject, if that's true, it would not be
So,
subject to
if-
30 days, so.
If we do it, you're saying if we don't do it as an emergency?
Yeah, if we don't do it as an
Um,
emergency, do you still
ask
have to
Eric,
wait
yeah.
the 30 days?
Yeah,
I
write
would
down,
say.
ask Eric, guys, we're gonna ask
Yeah,
Eric.
we'll ask
Get
Eric.
our thing, our answer.
Cause him and Jesse had an in-depth conversation about it, so
Mm-hmm.
would they? Possibly.
Probably possible.
I mean.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean.
Maybe likely?
It's still one of those things that I guess if it's not referendumable, whatever, yes, but then if somebody really decided that,
But it's not referendum. It is
Well,
either or it is.
First, they would
Exactly.
have to challenge, so it's not
That's-
referendumable based on the fact
right,
that.
but it's still fightable.
Well, did we pass
Did
the
say
first
when.
thing as an emergency?
No,
Okay, so it is still referendumable.
so that's what you need
To my reading, cause I remember we went through all this before, and if we haven't done anything as an emergency, we still retain that referendum ability, is
so
my
either-
recollection.
So then the other point to that would be if you guys want to, just to get it moving, that would be the next. But I know Eric and Jesse had this in-depth conversation
Right.
about it specifically, and that is a good point, so I would make sure that we're all on the same page, and of course Jesse's not gonna be here. So if we need to text him, early on, as soon as Eric walks in the door, we'll ask him,
Alright,
so.
yeah, cause I'd rather protect the process at the expense of,
I mean, at this point, we've been through, here's how I will say this, and I know you guys all knew that I was, not a huge proponent of, we've been through this process 3 times now. If there's anybody that is not aware and is not standing here with pitchforks tonight,
well,
Well, if that's not common.
we are not at the
Yeah.
pitchforks stage yet.
no, we're not, but I still, well, $100,000 is a big
You
chunk of
wait.
change.
You wait until the debt goes out, and that's when,
and
that's
you
when the
will-
pitchforks will come.
Right, and you will always have that, I
Yeah.
don't disagree with
Yeah.
that. You're always going to
And
have.
they're welcome to parade around the front with influence. Fee schedule, so we see the $50 instead of $100 for solicitation, and then peddler and mobile ice cream at discretion of mayor.
And that was, the reason that.
Any food truck then is at discretion?
That would be my recommendation right now, and I'm asking for that only because I'm still not gonna have 14 different
Yeah.
things in here. You guys see that I've been doing
Yeah.
one every
And-
week
and
for that.
I'm good with the separation of soliciting versus peddler being, a solicitor wants you to sign up for something, and a peddler, you give them money and they give you something back.
I
And
did,
that being the difference.
I would like to.
Go ahead.
I don't, I
Be
hear what
correct.
you're saying, I just don't think that's what, I don't think that's what people distinguish it as. I think the residents don't want people coming to their front door.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of solicitation they're talking about.
Yeah,
They could probably walk the street, and people might
which is
say,
why I
"Please walk
feel like
the
we
street."
separated it, because I
Yeah.
feel like
Well,
they,
we didn't.
We
It
did.
doesn't say, it
to me, a peddler, I mean, and maybe I,
excludes someone coming door to door, because that exclude people going, exclude people's ability to go door to door.
a
well, but,
solicitor has to have a permit, it's $50. A food
Right.
truck does not, which is, in my opinion, a peddler, not a solicitor.
Right.
A
But-
solicitor is somebody that goes door to
Truck
door.
isn't gonna drive up to your drive
Correct.
up to,
Yeah,
you drive
that's-
to your driveway.
that's what
and
that
put
says.
it
Yeah,
It's
that's-
But
nothing
the
to do with
peddler-
what I'm saying.
right, but a
I'm
peddler,
talking about people
no, no.
that come to your door door.
solicitor and peddler is the distinction, but a peddler only gets the permit at the discretion of the mayor.
Correct.
So if the Kirby vacuum salesman guy who comes with his car full of vacuums wants to knock on doors in the village, he still has to come to the community building and get a permit, and the fee is at the discretion of the mayor. Well, we
There you
cannot-
can't
Yeah,
control
you,
those.
there, you can't,
control
you,
that.
it is a First Amendment protected act to knock on doors
Girl
as,
Scouts,
Girl
Boy
Scouts,
Scouts,
Girl Scouts.
I thought you didn't come in here
band
for,
candy.
Yeah, so those are all technically, those would technically be peddlers, right? If they are selling
But I
aware.
tell you what, I don't know a single parent or school that suggests going door to door other than to people you know.
exactly.
That's still
No.
going door to
Oh,
door.
no, the scouts do,
The
for
other-
sure.
The
Oh,
big
okay.
thing that I would push for anybody that has a concern or problem is we do hand out the no-knock list. So anybody that has a huge concern, and I would say this to any resident, I mean, as a person with a small business, I would never go door to door. But I understand the need for some people to do it, and it's their right to do it. But you also have the right to get yourself on a list that says, do not come to my door.
Yeah.
And when they do,
And then when they do what?
Then you call the
you
police.
call police, and they're escorted out.
Police. Okay.
Or
Which
you
would
say,
put
get
that
off
in
my
this-
property and slam the door on them.
Yeah,
Be grumpy.
And I think that's what cracks me up, and I know I'm on a live stream for this, like, somebody comes and knocks on my door, I don't answer the door.
Are we on live stream?
no, we're not
I
allowed,
mean,
we're
not
on
live stream, but we're
record.
on a recording.
We're recording.
Like, it blows my mind that people get so whacked out about somebody coming to their door. I mean, I don't like it when my next, I like my next door neighbor, but,
Well, but they do.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't, but they
I-
do.
I know,
Yeah,
people
well,
do, you're correct, it's
I get
amazing.
upset about a lot of things, the world's an uncomfortable place. So moving to 2021-19, we're just reading through tax budget, nothing there. And 2021, 67 grand for the police cruiser. That's supposed to be on next year's budget that we're pulling into this year's budget because of chips and,
Dips,
yeah.
got it.
So anyone, and then we did mention noise ordinance is coming along. We don't have a finalized form of that.
No. I think that's all we have on this committee's plate at the moment.
Anyone else with anything?
Nope.
All right, I move to adjourn.
Second.